Hi, I'm Colleen Everett with Blue Water Healthy Living. I'm here at Studio 1219 in Port Huron. We're here to talk to two amazing artists, Mike Henry and Tim Shoemaker. They're just getting ready for their upcoming show. Let's check it out. Hi, Mike. Hey, it's looking great.
How's it going?
Well, it's good. The show's looking wonderful.
Thank you.
So, I had the privilege of working with Mike before, and I can tell you what a gifted artist he really is, and a great guy. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mike, just tell us about this show that's coming up and
Sure.
your process. And
Yes, I'm a water media painter, basically or mostly watercolor. But the theme of this show for me is Out of the Gray, kind of teamed up with my friend Tim Shoemaker, who does a lot of metal sculpture. So
Fantastic.
the two of us kind of fit together well.
Okay.
And instead of having each of us in a separate gallery, we decided to intermingle our work.
Well, let's take a look at some of your
Sure,
work.
yeah. One of my favorites, right here from the 10th Street Bridge.
Ah.
I love to paint light, all different times during the day, but I love mornings especially. And that's a view of the yacht club downtown. I just love the way the light kind of leads in there and just the soft atmospheric effect
Yeah, beautiful.
that watercolor can
Yeah.
give us.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and this is the
Oh, look at
moose.
that. Okay.
And it would have been hilarious for you to be here when we brought this thing upstairs.
bet. I'll
It
bet.
did not fit in the elevator, and
Oh.
it's hard to take through a 36-inch door. So I think we put a few scratches on the framework, but we had fun,
Worth it.
and the
It
moose
looks
is
great.
here, so
There we go.
we made it.
Very
Let's take a
cool.
step in here.
All right.
All right, so this is the theme of our show is Out of the Gray.
Okay.
For me, it's mixing complementary colors and making grays. This example was used using an orange and a blue paint to make the gray. And what I did is I visited Tim Shoemaker's studio and saw this little setup, and light was coming in from the door. So I took a little picture, did a sketch, and did a painting of that for Tim. And Tim made my palette and brushes out of metal.
Very cool.
So that's our gift to each other.
Nice.
And this is one of my favorite paintings. This is Purdy's Fishery across the river from Edison Shores. And I love the old fishing boats, and especially early in the morning. And I happened to catch these guys when they were just firing up one of the boats. So there was smoke
so
going
there's the-
everywhere, and nice atmosphere, and watercolor can portray that just beautifully.
Yes.
Soft edges. And then over here, we have an example of my working process. So when I talk about Out of the Gray,
Yes.
I always start off with a gray watercolor sketch. And I'll do a few line sketches with pencil, but I like to just do everything with a paintbrush. But what this does, our eyes are attracted to a strong contrast, dark against light. So that's kind of the highlight of my painting. But this is kind of a roadmap for me. Tells me where to go and what to do so I don't get lost. And a lot of times painters, including myself, will lose that when we go to color. We just get so involved with color and we're having so much fun that we forget about the value and the composition. So this kind of reins us in, and
Yeah.
and
Well,
still,
you can really see where you've followed this.
yes. And you know what's amazing too is when you do these gray sketches, it only takes 3 values, and your eyes will figure that out. That's
Yeah.
a figure sitting on the
Yeah,
bench. So-
exactly.
and then behind you here
Okay.
is another one of my
Oh,
favorites. For the last 3 or 4 years, I've gone down to the yacht club on 13th Street, and they put the boats in the spring, take them out in the fall, but it's been, gray, cloudy days. So this year was a beautiful sunny day, and I'm attracted to all these shadows, especially when the boat's moving across the parking lot to the river. You've got figures everywhere,
beautiful.
and then how many times do we see a freighter around
Oh, yes.
here? So
Love
this
the
one
freighters.
was, parked right across the river in the harbor there, and a lot of fishermen around. So again, I just love the atmosphere. I love the way watercolor can kind of blend and move if you allow it. And throw little seagulls in there, and your eyes put everything together.
yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. And this is one of Tim's masterpieces
Oh, wow.
here. This is the Detroit skyline. He's got a smaller version of that too, but yeah, he does some amazing work.
we'll talk to him in a minute.
We'll talk to Tim
All
in a
right,
minute.
good,
So another
good.
freighter, atmosphere, fisherman, same thing. I could paint here the rest of my life, and I feel like I'm young, so I've got a lot of time left.
Right on.
But one of the things Tim and I kind of
Yeah, this is
talked
cool.
about, was Tim, you do a freighter and a bridge, and I'll do my version of a freighter of a bridge, and we'll hang it together
Yeah.
to see what happens. And we didn't talk about it too much, just the subject matter, so you get different viewpoints of a metal sculptor and a painter.
Yeah, I like how you've intermixed your art forms.
Right. And this painting here, this is,
That's pretty.
I've lived here for 59 years, and about 2 years ago, I was driving down, I think, State Street or whatever it is right there, and noticed this scene on a spring day, and the light was bouncing off the bridge, and you had spring color, and I thought, how did I miss this? How have I been here so long and not see that?
It's a beautiful area.
It's a
and
beautiful
you've
area.
captured
Oh,
it
we've got,
so beautifully.
we have it
Very
good
well.
here.
Yeah. So Mike, how long does it take you to
Oh, I
do all these and
I guess
Ready for a show.
the proper answer for that would be I'm 59 years old, so probably 59 years, because everything that has happened in my life, first of all, I mean, the things that I like, that's
Yeah.
who I am, that's my soul. So, but I've been painting for 16 years. Started off as a hobby, just to kind of take stress away and kind of a time out thing. And then what I found was it quickly turned into a passion. And I should have been doing this all along. I took 25 years off after high school, and I was just hungry. I would go to the library, pull out books and DVDs, and just eagerly eat them up. I thought I didn't have an attention span because I couldn't sit and read a book. But when I pick up an art book, I can read that book, and I can understand what I'm reading. I can go cover to cover, and it's just truly amazing.
well, it's obviously in your soul and
Yes.
comes
yeah.
across to us. So,
Yeah.
well, let's see. Is Tim around? Let's talk to him.
Tim is around,
All
I
right,
believe.
great.
Tim.
Let's go. Tim,
Check out some of Tim's work.
fabulous. Hi, Tim.
Hi.
This is
How are
Tim
ya?
Shoemaker, and we're going to talk with him about some of his art form, which is so interesting. Working
Thank
with
you,
the metals.
thank you.
Just tell us about your process and how you go about making these works of art.
Well, first we have to start with steel.
Yeah.
So we cut steel, and I cut a lot of new steel, and rather than using
Let's take a look at it.
found object type steel, I use new steel. So I cut it and I grind. I use a variety of methods to cut it. I cut with a plasma cutter. I cut with a bench shear, sometimes with a torch, depending on how thick the steel is. So
And so I understand you're a welder.
yes, and then that's where the assembly comes in.
Yeah.
Is it's all welded together, and then I use I grind and make my detail with grinding, and do a lot of grinding and etching.
Cool. And these are some huge works. I love the moves.
It's not quite my biggest yet. I think that
Really?
might be my second biggest piece. Yeah, I had a bald eagle that had a,
Oh, beautiful.
so he was pretty big.
Well, let's go over and look at some other
Okay.
things you've done. Just tell us about the.
So these are my military items. I have some World War II items as well as current military themed items. I like to make that stuff. So
Nice. Let's look
Thank
on the
you.
other side.
okay,
All right.
some of my wildlife.
Ah,
Have fish flies for the season.
these are much prettier than the ones we see outside.
Yeah.
So Tim, now how do you go by a photo, or I mean these are such detailed creations. How do you do that?
Well, we're in the age of technology now, where
Yes.
Google Images is my friend. When just something crosses my mind, and I feel like this is a subject that I want to pursue or that I want to make, all I have to do is Google that object, and I can find 500 images of an elephant, or 500, not 500, but maybe 100 images of a Messerschmitt 109. So, all I have to do is think of what I want to make, and
Yeah.
Google is right there to
help you out.
give me my directions.
Yeah, that's great. Well, they're so detailed and so innovative.
Oh, thank
Really
you.
like it.
Thank you.
It's so cool. So now, Mike, come on over. Tell us one more time the details about the upcoming show, and I think there's a reception.
Sure,
after.
there's a reception Friday, July 12th from 6 to 8 here at Studio 1219. The show runs through the end of July, so you have
Okay.
a lot of time to come in and see it. And Tim and I both have public Facebook pages.
Good. Tell us how we can find you.
Mine is the Henry Gallery.
Okay.
And I am Tim Shoemaker, metal sculptor.
Wonderful. Well, thanks, guys, for giving us this sneak peek of your upcoming show. This is Colleen Everett for Blue Water Healthy Living. See you all right here on July 12th.